In this video, I will be talking about my undergraduate research project about developing interactivity between live music and video performances. There are many ways that music can support video and vice versa in pre-composed contexts. Many examples, like movie scores and music videos, have been thoughtfully edited to show the viewer the best composition possible and to enhance the creator's intended message. In these situations, the artist has a specific story that they want to tell and a specific emotion they want their audience to experience when watching the product. However, with new developments in technology, artists are starting to expand toward an improvisatory collaboration between music and video. These developments allow for artists to have an original story they are telling, but also allow the artist to use emotional feedback from the audience to inform how they express the music using particular performative subtleties like dynamics, tempo, and expression. This gives the artist the ability to express their feelings to the audience at the specific moment of the performance. While there are different levels of emotional connectivity that we have with art, a collaboration of music and video can enhance the emotional experience of the intended audience. I am proposing two connective emotion types, static and kinetic. An art project has a static emotion state if it remains the same regardless of the actions of the artist or audience. And a project has a kinetic emotion state if it is dependent on the actions of the artist or audience. Emotions have always been integral to all types of artwork, but also play a part in how we interact with the world around us. In the words of R.W. Picard, aesthetic success is communicated via feelings. The music score of the movie A Quiet Place gives the viewer a lot of auditory clues as to what is happening in the plot and to what the actors are thinking and feeling. In many cases, the music changes and gives the audience an auditory cue before anything happens on screen. There is a lot of play between complete silence, white noise, and subtle sound. All this combines to let the viewer have auditory clues about what is going on. In contrast, the soundtrack of The Matrix, a movie famous for its visual effects, is more about enhancing what is going on visually. In a lot of cases, the music follows and reacts to what is happening on screen visually. The action sequences of the movie are enhanced by the music and are not dependent on the soundtrack. A viewer would be able to watch The Matrix without the soundtrack and not miss very many, if any, details of the plot. When talking with pianist Gabrielle about her work composing piano scores for silent movies, she explained that one of the most important things that she considers was how to keep the audience immersed in the film. She explained that while it was very important that she composed music that fit a dance scene or a sad section, it was also extremely important to write a smooth transition between the scenes so that there is a natural flow between one and the next. Helping the audience create an emotional connection with the film is her main goal in this work. Even with this amount of variety in the amount and manner that music can support the emotional experience of film, it is still a genre that generally only has a one-way emotional connection. In all three instances above, the music is composed with a specific narrative in mind that the artists want the audience to be able to connect to in some emotional way. But while films with soundtracks are one-sided, silent films give a musician the potential to be able to take the information from the emotional feedback of the audience and slightly alter their musical response. Movie scores are static and unchanging after editing is completed. Silent movies open up the possibility of kinetic connection with the audience. Peter Gabriel's music video for the song Sledgehammer is a balance of absurd and literal imagery. The main role of a music video is to enhance the message of the musician's song, but the emotional movement of a music video is static, essentially equivalent to a painting. The artists involved in both music videos and paintings put their thoughts and feelings in their work to create a singular piece of art that will remain unchanged once completed. The artist uses their medium to create a piece of art that has a specific message, story, or point that they want to tell. The end goal is the product. Live performances can fall in various places on the scale of static to kinetic emotional connections. There are various factors like how much the artist wants to decide beforehand, the venue capabilities, and how important in the moment artistic decisions are to them. Musician Alice in Wonderland teamed up with Microsoft's Music X Tech program in 2017 to create an interactive visual accompaniment to her tour music set. The Microsoft team used a motion capture camera to give data to a video jockey program that would let Wonderland's movement and her music have a direct influence on the visuals. While the general style of the visuals is decided beforehand, it is important for Wonderland to connect with her audience at each event. In an interview with the website Your EDM, she talks about how important it is for her to be able to connect with her audience so that she can let go and connect with the crowd. She even states that if she cannot feel a real connection with her audience, she does not feel that the show was a successful one. This is a great example where a live performance with pre-decided visual aesthetics and music can be focused on the kinetic emotional connections of an artist with their audience. Another category is the collaboration of live music and live video, namely collaborations between DJs and VJs. In most cases, either the DJ or the VJ is the lead in the duet, but both can feed off of each other to create new musical and visual combinations. VJ Jason Scott Furr is an artist who likes to leave his creative decisions to the last minute. He inputs material and footage into his VJ software and uses computer algorithms to match the visuals to the live data inputs. Because of this technology, he can tap into the emotions of the venue as much or as little as he likes depending on what he is feeling. Another version of live music and video collaboration is shown in Lei Han's work collaborating with Dr. Wayne Kirby and Roy Futureman Wooten. For one specific performance, Han briefly discussed with Kirby and Wooten the video footage and general emotion that she wanted to use for the set. Other than this pre-show discussion, they relied on experience to create a performance centered around immersive creative collaboration. When using a piece of music as a starting point of a project, one must consider who the author is and if their history, culture, and meaning behind the song will be influencing the performance project. Ultimately, if the composer of the music and the artist performing it are two different people, the amount of influence is up to the artist. The artist must consider what message that they want to convey in their performance and how best to represent that using colors and images. They also need to decide who the performance is intended for, themselves or the audience. When using video as a starting point, the artist must consider how to communicate visually their main message. They must consider how the different color palettes, editing styles, and video transitions will affect the interpretation of the meaning by the viewer. In many ways, relaying a specific message to an audience of a similar cultural background is easier if using video as a starting point, since one image can hold more context clues than one music note. However, in this case, consideration needs to be given to how prominent the music should be in order to not detract from the visual component. In my work trying to create collaborative and interactive music and video performances, I have found that it is easier to create a cohesive performance if there's an overall theme not specifically tied to either the music or the video. For this project, I'll be using music as my starting point. Once the song is chosen, I decide what specific aspects of the music I want to focus on. In this case, Dark Waters by Wayne Erbsen is an old-time waltz played at approximately 120 beats per minute. In the melody, there's a back and forth between major and minor, shown in the alternating uses of the 7 and flat 7 scale degree. The title Dark Waters and the alternating major and minor are what I will use to focus on for this demonstration. Next, I decide what visuals I want to accompany the song. By searching for free online stock footage, artists who are beginning to dabble in this performance style can find a lot of free stock video clips easily downloaded. If you want to edit any of the clips, there are a few free video editing programs that will let you make basic modifications. There are a variety of VJ programs that allow live data interaction, but for a beginning artist, Max MSP provides a demo version of the program that allows a full functionality minus being able to save your work. Here is the patch that I will be using for the song and a quick demonstration. Making interactive visual arts accessible for mainstream musicians to have in their arsenal will help them to create a more immersive experience for their audience. Not only will the musician be able to change what they play in real time based on the immediate feedback from their audience, they will also be able to have visual elements that will follow their playing. Musicians will be able to decide what they most want to convey to their audience, whether that is a specific emotion or storyline, and be able to create a visual accompaniment that can enhance their performance. Video artists will be able to use software to mix their footage and graphics in real time while having a music accompaniment that's synced to their changes. Mainstream incorporation of live music and video interaction will expand the ability of all artists to tell their stories and connect with their audiences.